Well, hello, and welcome back to Talking Leeds Plus. Do you like the music, George?
Talking Leeds Plus. Yes, I do, Aaron. But, it just reminded me, click then now. I have another podcast with my brother, Talking Brazil Ball. Everybody in the comments go listen. Now, it reminds me, I'm just about to run down the Brazilian League table because that's the one that we're using, Aaron, for when my brother James says, would you like to let the listeners know who, the standings and such? And I say, yes, of course. And then we bang into it with that music going over the top.
Yes,
I was just about to tell the listeners who was top of the Brazilian row.
Go on, tell them.
I don't know if I could straight to remember. It might be, it's Fortaleza, of course, with 48 points. In second is Botafogo with 45. So it goes on like this. But I won't bore the listeners because we've gone here to talk about Leeds and it's deadline day. We're all in yellow in the back. I've got Tanaka in the back and I've been learning Japanese now and I've been learning Japanese tonight. So let's see. Maybe I will be learning Swiss or Italian come the end of the evening. But how are you, Aaron? How is it going?
Well, you jumped straight in there. I was just going to welcome everybody to the show. Welcome to Talking Leeds Plus, our 2024 Deadline Day special. We've done one of these for years, George. We know what we're up for. We know what we're getting ourselves in for with this one. So please do, before we start, give us a like, give us a share, give us a subscribe, because Christine, it's good to have you from the LS11 days. It's good to see you.
Good evening,
Where have you been, Christine? It's been...
Yeah, you've only just found us, yeah. But welcome along, Christine, and subscribe on your way in if you like, and whatnot, do all of that.
Absolutely. But, we're not going to pester you. You can do if you want. You don't have to.
If you want to, of course, Christine. Again,
your favourite LS11 presenters and co-hosts and content creators are all with us. Jerry McNamee's with us as well, and Alfie, George, and myself.
Alfie's won't be long, but let's get Lou out of this cricket.
The cricket suit, George.
There you go. Maybe
he will be with us.
Lou might make an appearance as well, so that would be nice. And Lewis as well, wherever you are, pal, wherever you're gone. Let's wait and see. But deadline day, Aaron, what are you feeling? How are you feeling about it?
Deadline day is an interesting one, George, because obviously we'll make it quite brief, really, with this one, because as John said, go to bed. Nothing new is happening apart from Schmidt. Schmidt will happen at some point. We might be on it, might be late. We don't know. Obviously, Tanaka is in through the door for Leeds. We can see him in the background there with you, George. He's in. And it's just to get some of you guys on, like what we used to do on our old show. If you want to come on, you can do. That'd be nice, Christine. Please do. Give us a subscribe.
Thank you, Christine.
But the good thing, Christine, is you can listen to us on Apple Podcasts, Samsung. We've got podcasts. You can listen to us on your Alexa app if you want to as well. So you can do all that sort of stuff, but do it later. Do it later, dear. Do
it later if you would like. You don't have to, but you are here live with us, Christine. Thank you for that. Yeah. And as you can see in the background, Aaron, Tanaka, number 22. He's been given the number 22 shirt, and so he has said hello to Leeds. Looks like it was done last night, Aaron, by the look of it. He was in the dark at Ellen Road, wasn't he? So it must have been, unless he was up at 3 or 4 in the morning. I don't know. But he's in the door. But it's very quiet. Like somebody said just a bit further up, it is a little bit quiet.
It is quiet, isn't it? And there's a lot of rumours still flying around that Leeds could potentially be in for another one. And I think we do need to be in with the shout for another one. Hamer and Salai as well. That seems to have gone, hasn't it? That one that seems to have disappeared off the radar.
I think Salai is done with. I don't know what he's doing, but he's not coming to Leeds, I don't think. And
no,
look, we don't know what's happening. There is reports. I think I'd mentioned it to you yesterday, Aaron. Below me from the Portuguese First Division the Algerian lad, who there was 1 or 2 reports I've seen this morning, late morning, about Hull City are in for him also. So God knows what's going to happen. It's ticking down now. What is the 4 hours left? Is it 4 hours? It's not long. I mean, Leeds do seem to have gone very quiet. I thought maybe Tanaka, when we did that at 12 o'clock, I thought it's gonna be a busy day, busy afternoon here, but it hasn't turned out that way. And like I said, up there, further up, John, maybe we can all go to bed before 11 o'clock. Not that there will be many people as well. It's good that it's happening on a Friday, in a sense.
Yeah, so I tell you what you need to do is you need to grab a beer, grab a drink, grab a cup of tea. We will bring you up to date with all of the rumours and all the deals which are going on. So forget Sky Sports News. We've got Talking Leeds Plus, because we've got a plus, because everybody's got a plus.
Yeah, well, that's
extra content for you.
Extra stuff, isn't it? It's an extra.
Yeah, it's an extra dose of beard.
Yeah, absolutely. And who doesn't like that? You know what I mean? It's definitely definitely on for a bit, isn't it? But
it is.
Let's wait and see. Hello to Colin, who's coming as well.
He's got
Sky on as well. So
they can keep us posted, Cole. Please keep us posted.
Interested, Colin, to know which one you have on mute or which one you have on loud. Do you have us loud, or do you have Sky loud? You know what I mean? Who knows?
Yeah. But, anyway, I'm just going to give a lowdown as well, George. We're going to get some people on as well. If you want to come in and join us on screen, you are more than. You can get the comments as well, of course, if you want. But if you want to come on live on the show, this Deadline Day special, we used to do it back in the old days at LS11. We want to get you some people on. So what you need to do is just DM Talking Leeds Pod, and we will get you on to join us live. I think we've got a couple of people lined up already, George, who are keen to get on. George, it's a bit of we're getting lined up early because they want to get on, and that's good. Absolutely. So we'll get as many as we can. So let's get in. Good evening to Jimbo. He's at a service station on the A34. I've no idea where the A34 is, Jimbo. Please do inform us where in the world you are, because that would be good.
Well, this is what it brings out of people, going here, there, and everywhere to spot a signing, perhaps. Fair enough, Colin. Yeah, Sky on you. That's the best way, isn't it? Potentially.
Yeah, and as James says there, don't go to bed yet, because there's going to be some news, we hope. So let's get straight into it, George. Because we're just primarily focused on Leeds. We're not going to talk about the others. I'd like to touch on a couple of other transfers as well, because just get your input in them. But Leeds and their transfer window, this summer kind of transfer window. What are your thoughts on the current one? Because I saw Graham Smith put a poll out kind of rating it from Port had been very good. Where would you rate it on a Likert scale, George, for Leeds United's transfer dealings this summer so far? Because we're expecting Schmidt to be announced. That's going to be announced any moment. And obviously, Tanaka came through this morning.
Yeah, I mean, Schmidt, I will just let the listeners know on my channel after you've seen us here, whatever time that is. I've done an interview or a conversation, should I say more, with Paddy Gunn, and he's a contributor. He's a Leeds fan, a contributor to the Square Ball. He writes for the Square Ball, and he sat. We sat down on a Zoom call like this and had a chat about Schmidt, and he gave me a bit more of an insight on what the player is, how who we can expect at Leeds, when he comes through, and all this kind of stuff. So go and have a listen to that. Very good fella. He knows his stuff about Swiss football and Leeds as well. So it was great to chat to him. To answer your question, Aaron, marks out of 10. I think yesterday, I gave it a 7. I think probably keep it at that. If we get a 10 in, I'll go with probably, well, depending on who it is, then it might go up or down. But yeah, a little bit disappointed. I think people are a little bit deflated at the moment because people expected a busy day, and it doesn't seem to be that way at the moment. And I think maybe it's to be fair, and I know Ted said here a bit just there. He thinks Leeds will make a big signing. I don't know. I won't be so sure. I think at the moment it looks like they'll probably announce Schmidt quite close to the deadline, and that'll be that, I think.
Yeah, it's interesting because James obviously said if we get number 10 in, they'll give it a 9 out of 10. I just want to run through the outgoings first from Leeds, because there is quite a lot of outgoings when you look at the whole squad on a bigger picture. So I'm just going to quickly go through, because there's actually, believe it or not, there's 21 players so far as things stand have left Leeds United over the summer. So obviously we've got Rutter, Gray, Somerville have gone. Those are the big three. Obviously we've got Kamara as well. Luis Sinistera made his transfer permanent, didn't he, this summer as well. Matt Rocker left for 4.5 million. Charlie Cresswell went over to France. Lorente buggered off back to Spain to Real Betis. Robin Koch, he was moved on. Obviously at the end of last season on loan. Cody Drama, Clarkson as well. We won't speak about him. Jamie Shackleton has gone to Sheffield United. Luke Ayling. Ian Paveda has gone to Sunderland. Rasmus Christensen is on loan. Is old Rasmus, the old Dane. Sam Greenwood has buggered off to Preston on loan. Darko Giabe has gone to Plymouth on loan as well. So there's a whole, and Liam Cooper is still without a club. Listen, it would be great if Liam Cooper joined us today. Sonny Perkins has gone out on loan as well. So, do you know, a lot of players have left Leeds United, George, haven't they, this summer?
Oh, yeah, there's been plenty. Like you said, 21? I think Clive says 18, not including the kids. Yeah. Either way, that's quite a lot of players to go. A lot of them are fringe players, aren't they? To be fair, it has to be said. Yeah. Obviously, the 3 key ones are in there, aren't they? And which is damaging to any team to lose that sort of quality in the side. It's obviously some of them were disappointing, and we have to regroup as they do all the time and try and do it again and try and find some more gems. Looking in the European market as it looks like Leeds are doing, and see if we can find.
Yeah, I'm just going to touch on the incomings. So on the overall balance, I'm just quoting here from transfermarket.co.uk because it is in euros, and we are, as you say, in the European market. We've spent, incoming in terms of, profits coming into the club, 162 million euros has come into the club, and then obviously the incomings as well. Oops. Oh dear, who's pressed play? Is that you?
No.
The incomings, George, is where was I? Not sad though. Did you not press play there? Anyway, incomings: Joe Rodon, Ramazani, Bogle, Tanaka, Alex Kynes as well. Mel Solomon has come in. Joe Rothwell has come in as well. So incoming wise, an expenditure, 29 million euros spent. It gives us a net profit this summer of 133 million euros. 133 million.
I think there's been 7 in so far now. There's probably not going to be more than 9, I wouldn't have said. So yeah, they haven't spent that much when you look at it really there. It hasn't been that much, has it? Obviously, Tanaka would be fairly cheap. I don't know how much exactly. Ramazani would probably be the most expensive of the 7 of them so far. So, yeah, I mean, if you're looking at that, it's smart business. Leeds are trying to do smart business. And look, earlier on this week, we're talking about the likes of kind of like Philip Billing from Bournemouth and things like this to come in the centre midfield place. And obviously, they've gone with Tanaka, who's a lot cheaper. Don't mean to say that he's going to be any worse than than what a Premier League player would have been. So it's about picking bargains up from the European market. I thought his name? Salai, I think would have been a decent signing, but it doesn't look like it's going to happen. So
no, that's the one which it's really gone quiet, hasn't it? Over the afternoon, I must admit, I went to Asda earlier and did my big shop for the week, and I was, whilst I was looking at milk and eggs, I was continuing to look on Twitter. And speaking of Twitter, if you want to be on the show, you can do. Just John a DM us on X, Talking Leeds.
Wow, look at
and
that!
We'll get you on. Say, I'm prepared, George. I'm prepared.
Yeah,
you want to
wow,
come on, you can. Right. Okay. So let's just talk about obviously the rumours. I want to talk about. We mentioned it on the main pod as well, which is available for you to download and listen. Gus Hamer as well. It seems to be off, doesn't it, George? Because he was heavily linked with us. He apparently agreed terms. He is not joining Leeds United. We're quite confident in saying that, aren't we, George?
I think so. I mean, that's not come from any kind of reputable source, but I think it's well known. I think Leeds haven't gone back for him past the opening bid, I don't think, and I think the fans have got very excited. People have got excited into whipped up into a bit of a storm, but I don't think he's coming. I don't think he's coming anywhere near Leeds. I don't think he might go somewhere else, or he might stay. And look, they've got to look at other options. There aren't just those two players. Fans seem to be caught up in between Salai and Hamer, but there's more players around there. There's more players about, and I'm hoping that they can pull somebody out the bag who nobody has spoken about once, and I think they might.
But we're definitely in the need that number 10 position for me, George, is key for Leeds moving forwards, isn't it? Because we can't rely. And yes, Nonto did a good job against Sheffield Wednesday. We talked about that previously, but we can't rely on Nonto and Aronson or Pirot in that position as well. We can't really rely on that. We need more. That quality is needed still, isn't it?
Oh, of course it is, Aaron. Yeah, I do agree. I think Nonto was great on last Friday against Wednesday, wasn't he? He was really good. I just think, we do need another option. It's all about building the squad up. This is what I was talking to Paddy about just earlier. It's all about having the options off the bench. And what we were speaking about last night, Aaron, as well, is you've got to build a good squad. You can't just have a good 11 and then nothing on the bench, because players are going to get injured, like you said. Players are going to get injured. Players are going to get suspended at certain points in the season. You need a bigger squad. And I'd urge them in the last few hours to go out and get 2 or 3, but they're definitely not going to do that. Clark's been quite vocal, quite transparent in what Leeds want generally, I think, hasn't he? So we're not expecting any more than 2. One being Schmidt. We know.
But if you look, George, let's just cut to the chase here with transfer activity. We just went through the arrivals and departures for Leeds, and we talked about the money which has come in. 133 million euros. I'm going to quote in euros because we seem to be in the European market. You could talk about the PSR and all that sort of stuff, and the losses which have occurred from being in the Championship for the second season. There's still a lot of money in the pot there, isn't there, George? There's a hell of a lot of money in there still. If you think about it, we've got, as I say, 133 million quid. You only need 30 million to spend on quality players to get yourself out of this. Do you think the board and the scouting team are waiting until January to really strengthen further and just cut with what we've got? Do you think they'll hold on to what we've got and then go again in January and spend big in January? Because Leeds never really, other than Ruter a couple of years ago, we don't really spend big in January, do we?
Not really. I don't know. It depends what position we're in come the January window, doesn't it? If we're smashing it, then maybe they don't see any need to. I know the Lopeka trio.
Alopecia trio. Alpaca.
I don't know. I didn't know that was how you spell that, but there you go. Well, you learn something new every day.
Read the quote out. Read the comment out, John. Read the comment. Come on.
So you say
alopecia trio.
So the alopecia trio. they say about Nonto has the potential to become a legend if he winds his neck and he's my 10 this season. So, yeah, I agree. I think definitely from what we saw in the Wednesday game, Nonto seems to be Clark's 10, and it seemed to work. Aronson as well, I think, is a good option there, better than he is out wide. I think Nonto is probably just as effective as he is in the middle out as he is out wide. So he's almost a better option in a sense than Aronson. And I don't honestly think maybe there isn't a need for a 10. Maybe we just think there is. Because Solomon, don't forget, Solomon can play there as well. And so he's an option there as well. So maybe they just think they've packed up, they've done it, they've done the business, they've got what they needed.
Yeah.
Although I think us as fans, we always want the excitement of a new player in, don't we? I think that's it, really, isn't it? We all just want this excitement of new players in all the time, really, because it's exciting.
It's interesting that, it seems like Christine says there, January is too late. We need to get going now. Do you agree with what Christine says there? Or for me, I think I completely disagree with you, Christine. I think the squad which we've got at the moment, I think is good enough to compete until January. And then from January, you've got to really strengthen, because we'll know exactly where we are in the league, if we're in the playoffs or if we're in the automatics. You've got to really push for it and kick on. And I just think if holding on to that 30 million quid, you could bring 2 or 3 players in, obviously jumping into the loan market as well, to really strengthen for that, just to get over the final hurdle, really.
Well, yeah, like Connor said a bit further up there, Aaron, about big clubs need to unload some players. So there could be some late loan deals. I agree. There could be 1 or 2 that, there might be an option there. They're waiting and see who's available. And if there's a deal that they can get done, they're going to have to be close by now, aren't they? Already around the around.
Yeah. They need to be in the Yorkshire region.
Well, no, I mean, they need to be in the country. They don't they? At the very least, probably now. So you might be looking at Premier League players. I don't know. There's still plenty of deals to be done. I don't think there's that many that's been done today, actually. So
no, it's generally quite quiet. We will touch on other deals around the country, because I think it is quite interesting, because the transfer market, I think, has been quite weak this summer. It hasn't been as strong, unless you're Chelsea. They seem to be just buying everybody, and then they can't sell the players.
Chelsea is like 40 odd strong squad, isn't it? It's ridiculous.
Bonkers. They could just give us a few players.
There's what's his name? Carney Chukwuemeka. I think he's been mentioned once or twice as maybe a loan. I think he's a centre mid though, so it's probably gone out the window there. But I don't think people realise maybe how good Tanaka is, and maybe people haven't seen him properly. I mean, I certainly haven't really seen that much of him, to be honest. But I think people, obviously quite excited, but I think people get less and less excited. It's funny, isn't it? Because Tanaka, we're buying in 2 players probably here, and I think people are getting not very excited because they already know who those players are. So it's a bit like, we're getting in and we're getting in, but what about somebody else? And I think it's the excitement of a new name coming on the radar, isn't it? And then everybody gets a bit excited. But if you already know who's coming in, it's a little bit like, we already know. But I think Tanaka's a really good signing. And also, I think Schmidt will be a good signing, because he seems to be in the same mold as the players that we've already got in those positions. So, he'll fit in quite nicely. Likes to go forward, and he's quite strong. He's quite combative by the sound of it. So he'll fit in quite nicely, I think, with our team.
Yeah, I just want to touch on what Colin said. The medicals required before a deal on loan moves. Yes, they would like to kind of. But what they could do is they can, they don't have to be, get them up from London or wherever. Let's say Chelsea or whatever. They can. There's independent kind of medics who can go and do the job for them and get things done. Give them a quick report. If they've been playing, if they're fit and they've been playing in games. Generally, it's not more of a bug.
Yeah,
It's just the terms and conditions, really.
they don't have to get into Leeds, do they? They don't have to go to Thorpe Arch and do it. They can do it wherever, get the paperwork signed off. It's all a bit of a rush, which they'll be getting into that sphere now, really, of kind of a little bit of
and
a
you
rush
can as
now.
well, if you remember as well, George, last year, you can obviously put the deal sheet, which Sky Sports like to quote, and they've got deal sheet in when it gets to 11
they love
o'clock.
it. I mean, they love it. They just
do.
love it.
There was a deal sheet, wasn't there, last year for Sinistera, where he went off to Bournemouth on loan. They got the deal sheet in, didn't they?
They did, yeah. They got it in just in time. I mean, we all thought he was going to stay, and then everybody just turned on him because of the news that it came out that what he was doing. So, and obviously, then we got Jaden Anthony on loan, didn't we? But
which also was another deal sheet.
It was, but it obviously didn't seem like worth doing in the end, did it? Really, in the end, but
well, good luck to him because he had a tough year last year.
Of course he did.
Good luck to him. I hope I don't wish anything bad on any players, but I do wish him all the best at Burnley. He had a tough year last year. Hopefully, this move will do him good at Burnley. Obviously, losing his mum and stuff like that. Anybody he's huge. I could speak of myself. But yeah, it's an important move for him, and I hope it goes well for him. But
definitely. Yeah, I mean, like you said, it was a tricky time, a tricky spell for him, really. So he's a good player. It was just. Yeah, it didn't really work.
I want to do a bit of a feature before we start getting guests on. So again, if you want to come on the show, you can do. Just get on X and just give us a DM, and you can come on the show. Just DM TalkingLeedsPod, and we will get you a link out. All you need is some headphones and a quiet area, and we will get you on the show. If you want to come on and talk about Leeds, we would love to get you on. Right, George, really, really interesting summer for Leeds. We've had some weird and wonderful rumours who were joining us. Schmidt, nobody had a real clue about coming in. Max Aarons, that seems to have dropped off the radar quite quickly. He's staying put at Bournemouth. Solari is not coming. Gus Hamer as well. So Chris Wilder is not crying because...
Well, not yet.
Not yet, but I don't think we will. Who do you think, who's the weirdest link that we've had? I was reading, Ryan Kent was linked with us as well. That was brilliant. I read that on Twitter this morning. Which is the weirdest link that we've had this transfer window?
Oh, well, I mean...
Which is the strangest one that we've had?
Well, you know what? I can't.
We've had some really weird, really weird.
I can't. You know what? I can't even think. I don't know. It does seem to have been quite a quiet one, really. There doesn't seem to have been that many links. I don't know, really. I mean, it just seems to have been quite a quiet summer, really. We had that kind of month where. From signing Bogle to then signing Ramazani last week, where there was nothing really, there wasn't that many links. I haven't, honestly, Aaron. I don't think I've seen that many. To be fair,
no.
I mean, I don't know if anybody in the comments has, but yeah, I don't think I have really seen that many odd ones. You know what I mean? Like strange, outlandish ones. I think it's generally. I think
it's probably Gus Hamer. I think he's probably the most random one because obviously he's a key player for Sheffield United, and when Leeds put a cheeky bid in, if they did or not, I don't know. It's just all rumours, and then offering Pirot as
I mean that was probably, if you talk about odd ones, that might be the odd one because
that was a bit weird.
I mean that was just hearsay, wasn't it? And I think that was trying to unsettle people, and I hope Pirot, I like Pirot, and I hope that he has finds some kind of place in this team for him because he's no doubt he's a good player on his day and in the right position. He's a good player, so I hope that doesn't unsettle him as it might have been. That might have been the aim for that to do because they weren't going to sell Pirot. They're not going to sell Pirot. They're not going to sell him. They wouldn't sell him. They need somebody else straight in if they're going to sell him. They're not going to sell him. I don't think, like we said yesterday, I don't think the only question mark would be over Willie Gnonto. But with 3.5 hours to go now, I doubt that he's going anywhere. The social media team, I think it was incidental, put some shots up of the guys training. I'm sure it was purposefully put. There was a picture of Willie Gnonto in his training gear.
He was there, wasn't he? There's a whole bunch of them, isn't there? Up at Thorpe Arch, in the training for Hull City tomorrow. But I think, I have to say, I think with Gnonto in particular, if fingers crossed he doesn't go, I think it's a great, great from the club to keep Willie, because I think he's a key player for us this year. I said this before to you. He's going to be a huge player for us this year, and we've got to keep him sweet and keep him happy, and he will be the main man. It's no doubt about it. He'll be the main man.
Willie definitely, like we said, either it be out wide or in the 10, will definitely be one of the main men in this team. I think Solomon is a really good signing if he can keep fit. I expect he might even start tomorrow. And
Dan James being injured.
Dan James is injured, so Farke's got a bit of a question mark immediately. How fit is Ramazani? Does he throw him straight in? I think Solomon is probably the more fitter of the two.
Yeah.
So maybe you put Gnonto in the middle, or maybe he's tempted to put Gnonto in the middle, Ramazani out right, and Solomon on the left. Maybe I don't know. There's options there. Look, we might even get one more, but I don't think whoever it will be, would be able, obviously, to play tomorrow. So you'd have to wait till after the international break for Burnley. But let's see, Arron. I mean, but Willie Gnonto is definitely a key.
And I think the key thing for me now is and we haven't, you look at the outgoings and the ingoings for Leeds, George. You look at. I was just looking at Live Lights, and I'm just following, a couple of our threads on Twitter from LUFC JR. LUFC, all Leeds, aren't we? He's put Solomon's replaced Anthony, Tanaka's replaced Kamara, Rothwell replaced Gray, Ramazani replaced Cree, Rodon returned, Bogle replaced Roberts, Schmidt replaced kind of Ayling Spence, Alex Ken's replaced Clarkson. Nobody has replaced Ruter.
I think I saw
10. Do you see that?
Yeah, I think I saw this tweet.
I completely agree with that.
Yeah, I mean, I think you're probably right, Arron. I think there is it's crying out for something here, and if they can just get it done, all we want is a 10 that is good enough. I mean, Benson, the rumours of Manuel Benson off Burnley have gone a little quiet. I did see a little one today, Sunderland and Leeds interested, but seems to be that has gone off the boil as well. He would probably fill that 10 role. But I mean, Ruter, and I'm saying this to Paddy earlier on, I think Willie Gnonto on his day could be better than Ruter and Chris Somerville in the team last season. Whether on his day, and he just needs to replicate that more, and maybe it can be Willie. Maybe Willie can just take on that, that role in the side that Ruter was so good at last season. Maybe it's him. Like maybe it is him.
What gets me as well is, George, I want to mention Birmingham City. They've just agreed terms for Jay Stansfield. Do you know how much for a League One? Bearing in mind, Birmingham City are a League One club. Do you know the fee? What they're asking for them?
Well, it was 10 million, wasn't it?
Yeah, and they've agreed upwards of 10 million pounds for a League One player. If Birmingham City can get out the cash, why can't Leeds? Because yes, they paid 9 million quid, but this is the thing. They've clearly got money to spend. They've got wealthy owners, as have we. But in terms of the incomings, the expenditure, we've got money to spend as well. It just doesn't add up to me, Leeds, with Leeds, George, because we just haven't spent a lot.
No, but I think
we haven't spent a lot. Let's think about this. We haven't spent a lot of money.
No, well, you said earlier on, was it 27 million euros or something?
Yeah, which is about 25 million quid.
But I think people definitely. I mean, they've got money. They've got money behind it. That
As have we, because even with the PSR, we've got money in the bank because unless the 49ers are taking it and running off to spend it somewhere else,
which is what I've seen people aim at them today as well on Twitter. But
yeah,
I don't know
but
why
if
people
you're thinking of green or red, we're way in the green, and we've had some parachute payments.
Yeah, of course they will be. They'll have a lot of money, but it's about it's not all. I think people get way too bogged down in the money aspect of it. It's not just all about money and getting money and all this and spending all that money on massive.
It is.
Yeah,
but
it's about getting quality. But you can get quality, like I said to you guys the other day in the chat there. We can get quality looking at the European market without spending all that money. They're clearly looking for somebody who's a perfect fit for this team. And it doesn't matter. You can, like I was saying yesterday, you can throw all that money at Hamer, but you might be able to get
but for Hamer, though, George, it's a deal because, what did we have for 13 million quid? If we'd have thrown an extra 5 million quid in, 5 million quid, we'd have probably got that over the line.
Yeah, but they don't. They obviously don't see it worth doing, and that's fine.
Why? I don't understand why.
Because they might have seen a better quality player that is a little bit cheaper elsewhere. That's what I mean. That's what I was saying to you yesterday.
There's quite a lot of people watching this live. Get in the comments and do you agree with me or George on this one? I don't understand why Leeds could not go and buy him for an extra 5 million quid. They could have even done that on bloody add-ons. We'll give you an extra 10 million if we get promoted.
Well, they obviously didn't see it worth it. I mean, I think Leeds are obviously going down the European route that will see them buy cheaper players, which is fine. Which is fine for me. It's fine.
It's not because we got relegated from the Premier League last time we did this. But when you're wanting a promotion push, George, you want to be pushing for promotion. You don't want to be fanning around with the playoffs again. You've just got to get up and stay up. We don't want to be spending, let's buy Schmidt. It could be an absolutely useless in the Championship. I don't know him.
Well, no.
Neither does. Let's be honest. Neither does the Leeds United fan base. Nobody knows Tanaka.
Well, some of them do clearly.
Because Sinner could have gone the world yesterday or whatever.
I mean, like I said, the fellow I've spoke to for 40 odd minutes now, he knew about Schmidt. And he was a Leeds fan. And there will be people that know about Tanaka that are also Leeds fans.
You can't go on YouTube, George, and say, oh, yeah, I've watched him for 2 minutes, and my God, he's the best player alive. And
no, of course you can't.
Because HMS the league, all that stuff. It just doesn't work like that.
Of course it doesn't, because YouTube is of highlights and wonder of goals and all this.
Exactly. This is my point. Let me get this point in, George, because this is important. Boom. Hamer's price is bigger because he's proven in England. That magic adjective there, proven. Proven, George. He's a proven in England. Proven.
Of course. Yeah, of course.
And that's important. That's important.
The world is bigger than England, Aaron, and players within it. There are lots of players. The scouting will be vast, and it looks as though.
Let me just read some of the comments out because they kind of are agreeing with me, George, and I just need to get this out because it's great to see so many comments coming in. Dirty Leeds says, we should have definitely made the deal. He could have made the difference. We are now putting square pegs in round holes. Ted also says, Sheffield United apparently said it would take 18 million for him, but it does not necessarily mean that I was sent to Leeds a direct rivalry. I think 18 Sheffield United are absolutely screwed financially. They're going through a takeover at the moment. That was a golden opportunity to kind of bring him in. I think it was a great opportunity and a great Championship player. He did it for Coventry. He did it. He's been there, done it, and he's won promotion. And I just think sometimes you need that little bit of quality. And I've been banging on about this for weeks. You've just got to have that little bit of quality.
He didn't win promotion, and he got promoted. Coventry didn't get up.
No, he's in the playoffs.
He moved. Well, that's a whole lot of different than getting up. We know that.
He was one of the best players for Sheffield United in the Premier League last season.
Well, yeah, he was. But like Tim says, we had that big bid accepted by Zagreb. It came out. I don't know how true this is, but
go on then. You talk about it because I don't know this. You tell the 28 people.
Tim, I can't remember what the name of the fella was, but they got a bid accepted, didn't they? Would he say Hammers wants to come, but we lowball Chef and don't spend 18 million? Yeah, exactly. Well, yeah, they wanted this man for 25 mil apparently. Croatian guy, I can't remember his name, played for Zagreb, and it was he turned the move down apparently because he didn't see Leeds as a good place to grow his career or something like that. So I don't know. It's what can you do? I don't think Leeds want to go down the proven championship route or whatever. They want to go higher. They want to go to the Premier League with Solomon, or they want to go to Europe.
But we could talk about this all day long, George. We've been there, done that, and it didn't work. And yes, there was a different director of football in place now from then, they're different 100, etc. I understand that. By the way, can I just say hello, JLUFC? He's just found us. Give us a like and subscribe, then, Jay. Sorry, we're here every Thursday.
Hey, Aaron, he won't subscribe if you get his name wrong.
I know, sorry, my apologies. JLUFC.74. Come on in. Yeah, give us a share and all that sort of stuff. But also
catch up, and there's a lot going on in the comments here.
I know, I'm trying to catch up. There's so many, and it's good to see fellow former subscribers and guys who from LS11 joining as well. Do, as I said, join us. Give us a like, subscribe, all that sort of stuff, and listen to us on your podcasts if you want to. Me and George are here every Thursday, and me and Jerry or Alfie will do the match reaction, so we're here all the time. Got to get that plug in.
Exactly, but it's not Thursday today, you must add as well.
It's not we did the show yesterday. This is Talking Leeds Plus. This is a bonus.
Absolutely. But there's some. I mean, Begbie 30. Look.
Yeah, go on.
Leeds United's pursuit of Sheffield United star Gus Hamer might be over. The prospect of the Blades midfield arriving at Ellen Road is very slim. But that's basically just stating fact, or maybe it's fiction. I don't know what it was. But they're basically just repeating what the report said. Yeah,
and that's what it is, and it's not going to happen. Exactly. And I think, like what Dirty Leeds said, 13 million with add-ons would have secured him, and he would have walked to Sheffield. Yeah, he would have walked from Sheffield to Leeds to join us, and I genuinely think he would have done as well. Good evening, Big Mally as well. He's here. No falling out, please. None till the next number 10 for me. Nothing completely but some deals that are very unlikely. And what Dirty Leeds has come back and said, what pisses me off is we've just got 140 minutes, which was previously said, but we'll say it again because it's coming as a comment. In incomings, we've gone on the cheap around Europe, spending just 28 million, and now you're hearing the piss the league. Let's be real, lads. Well, Dirty Leeds, what do you think this season for Leeds United? Do you think they will get promoted with the squad that we've got? What are we missing? Get back in touch with us. You can see what fans are saying, though, George, from my point and what people are commenting in as well, saying that, we haven't spent the money which has come in, and I'm not necessarily saying that we should be spending 140 million quid, etc. It's all like, you can see their point. They have got a point to make here.
Yeah, of course there's a point. Yeah, I mean, but obviously the 140 million that's obviously been reported that they've made isn't all going to go obviously back into the squad. It doesn't mean that we're going to spend 140 million on players incoming as well. That's just not realistic. They've got a certain amount they can spend. And again, like I said, I don't think it's all about the money. Bearing in mind, 40 million quid is pure profit from Archie Gray.
Yeah, there's no sell on or anything.
Yeah, 40 million pound bang on. I think they had to pay Hoffenheim a bit for Ruter, but
so we actually made a loss on that.
So I don't.
1.5 million loss,
but they still made 30 odd million pound off him. So but it's got to go into other things and whatever and all this. It's not all going to go on the playing squad as much as we'd like it to. Even though I don't mind. I mean, everybody in the comments, they seem to be signing a bit more with you, Arron, and saying, well, proving quality and we're going around Europe spending peanuts and all this kind of thing. But I just don't see the big fascination with a big money fee spent. Big money spent is going to do well. He could be peanuts. Look at Willie Nonto. Look at Somerville. I know they were young when they signed. Willie still is, and so is Cree. But we signed them for not much, and we're selling them on, hopefully not Willie at the moment, but we sold Cree on for a lot more than we spent on him. So I don't think there's too much in terms of spending money. I don't see where the fascination of buy a big name player for a load of money and then what? You can buy the same player or just as good or maybe better for less money, and he might be just as good or better.
I understand what you're saying, George, and you can say that I completely understand what you're saying, but realistically, if you want to get out of this division, you need championship quality, and
I don't think you do.
You do. Look at Leicester last season. They walked the league effectively, and they had quality. Same as Southampton. They have big money coming in, and they replaced it with quality. Ipswich, bit of a fluke, let's be honest, because obviously the majority of the players were from League One. They had the League One promotion push, and that bounce it got them up. Leeds had the quality, but it was the slow start to the season, which from last season. And you're always going to be compared to what ifs and whatnots and this, that, and the other. But ultimately, we're missing out, George, on a number 10 whose quality is missing. Rutter is 40 million quid. That quality.
Yeah, was he 40 million quid worth of quality? Well, I don't know.
Well, it was for the championship, yes, because he would have been the star man this season if he'd have stayed, but he hasn't. You've got to replace that quality because we've seen it under Farke. I'm not going to talk about the Sheffield Wednesday game because I think we were a lot better, but in the earlier games this season, it was pass and hope for the best to the key star men. And you've got to replace that quality. You can't expect, yes, Nonto was better, but you can't expect, players to just jump into that when the quality wasn't there. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I do understand what you're saying. Rutter was obviously a big, important part of that squad, and it like Clive says, 6 goals and 16 assists. It could have been a lot more for Rutter. Really,
that's it. So that's my point there. 6 goals, 16 assists. That there is worth its worth. What if those led to a promotion?
Well, and then it did, but it didn't.
But this year, you'd have got to. It's a like for like replacement. You need to bring somebody in for like. Who in the European market is going to get you 6 goals and 16 assists? I guarantee, I'll make a bet with you now, George, Tanaka will not be that.
No, of course he won't. He's a different kind of player. But
this is the point that I'm making. You're looking at the increments. Rothwell won't do that.
It's a hollow argument.
He won't. We could be sat here next year talking about Willie Nonto going and Rodon going and Patrick Bamford leaving and the Berlin meltdown. Yeah, I know it's
Thank God. No, there'll be a celebration, wouldn't there?
It's a box-to-box midfielder with Tanaka. But again, you still need that quality in your side. The point that I'm trying to make, Clive, is that the quality isn't there still. There needs to be.
I disagree with you, actually.
Where's the quality coming
from? Well, look, Willie Nonto's still there. Aronson, like you said yesterday, he's come back in. He's started well. Maybe he can do it. Perot can do it. At the top end of the pitch as well, given the opportunity. Joseph looks like he's settled well into this league. So I disagree. I think there is quality. There's Solomon in there. There's Ramazani who's promising as well. Ricky D a bit further up in the comments there says he still thinks we're going to get Salai. Otherwise, Freiburg will leave them. We're leaving on a free. So this lad I keep going back to, and I don't think it will happen, but you never know, Ricky D. But he's very versatile, and he would end up being a quality addition if we can get it over the line. Again, it would be cheaper than your Hamers or whatever. as well, and he might just do that bit better as well. I mean, Dirty Leeds come back to Arron as well, saying about number 10. He doesn't think
it's key. It's a priority. Pablo Star player, create goals at the minute. Still saying playoffs, but hopefully I'm wrong. Dirty Leeds, yeah, I completely agree. You know,
we imagine if we had Pablo in this team now at his prime when he came to us, even though he was probably out of his prime, you might have said. I don't know how old Pablo was when he came. He was late 20s, maybe even 30 at the time. And he gave us a really good few years. But imagine having him back in this team at number 10. I mean, that'd be unbelievable, wouldn't it, really? But you just can't. We just can't do it. I agree with Dirty Leeds. I don't think we have replaced him properly. I think Ruter was a good bit, but he was never going to stay. As soon as we lost that final, you knew he knew he was going as well because of that release clause or whatever it was. Eventually, that ended up being triggered by Brian. Somebody was going to pay it. That's why he was in tears, blowing kisses to the fans. He knew he was done. He knew he was gone. And so, you know, and that's what I don't like really with the YouTube thing. He put out this YouTube video, didn't he, before he left, like a few days or a week before he left, and it was seeming like he was going to stay, and then he just left. So, but we've got what 3 hours now to get somebody in, and otherwise people are going to go into meltdown. We don't need to. We've got a game tomorrow that we need to look forward to and keep the good feeling for. You know what I mean? So.
Ricky says their salary would be quality. Be great by the 9 million. 49ers get it done. This is why I don't understand why they can't get the deal done, because they've got cash in the bank. They have the cash. They just need to make something work. Just do it. It's not hard.
Well, apparently it is. Apparently it is. You know, it's all about FFP. There's a lot more that goes into it that we don't know about.
We were fine. This is what a lot of you're saying to me, George. Like the FFP is a key thing. FFP was fine when we sold Archie Gray.
Yeah, but
that's it. The rest is pure profit.
But you can't just say throw a load of money at it just for the sake of it. Let's just buy whoever, throw it in just for the sake of it.
You've got to buy players of championship quality to get us out of this
situation. You need players of better than championship quality. That are cheap and good to go. I think Salai would be a smart move, you know, and if we can get it done, I don't think it will happen. Like you said, there might be somebody that comes out of anywhere. We haven't even signed Schmidt yet. I don't think he's been announced. Maybe he's been announced at 8 o'clock, and then they can go and get the man before 11. But it seems to be going now in the same way as all the deadline days do, and just nothing seems to be happening.
Yeah, but this is the thing. It just needs to be done. I'm just going to jump into the comments. There you go. JLUFC 74. We will do this. Hello, Lado Lennon. Both sat and joined the Content Bros. Leeds forever, marching on together, Lennon. All the very best, and thank you for subscribing to us. And I'm sure you got some love in the comments as well. Leeds has come back and said, let's wait until the cold winter nights with players like Aronson. They'll be like ghosts on the pitch. He's not the solution at number 10. I completely agree. I think we still need a little bit more quality in that. I just want to touch on some of the other transfers which is going on, George, around the country. I just want to talk about the Saudi Arabia revolution. Brentford have accepted a £40 million deal for Tony from Al Ali.
Wow, okay.
And he's the wages what he's going to be on over there.
No,
I could give you a scoop here: £650,000 a week. Cash. 650,000.
What?
As well. That's ridiculous, isn't it? Even Tony, Saudi Arabia. So yeah, that's a crazy deal, isn't it? That when you think about it, don't you think that's crazy?
Yeah,
I don't know why he's going over there. Well, to be honest, £650,000.
Well, that's why he's going over there, isn't it? I mean, Yeah, I mean, he's basically come out and said he doesn't want to play for Brentford, doesn't he? He's not going to be in the squad. He doesn't want to play, so you've got to get rid of him.
The Saudi Arabian deal doesn't close on Monday though. That transfer.
Yeah, so he's got time to get over there on the weekend and finalise the deal, hasn't he? So I think it'd have been screwed if he had to, get a club over here, because he's he's running out of time. So Saudi, loads of money, they've just thrown the book at him and go have that. We don't care. We've got loads of it. Just have it. And and why is he going to say no to that? It's a bit of a shame, really, because I do like Tony. I think he's a really good player, and I think it's a shame the way he's kind of gone, and his career's kind of gone a bit down the toilet with that betting thing. And he's obviously thrown his toys out at Brentford now. But I like the way Brentford do things as well. They're a good club. They run really well, and they're going to knock. How much did you say the fee was, Arron?
£40 million.
40. It seems a bit excessive, to be honest. Yeah. It's a bit excessive, Matthew, but that's excessive. But
it's just crazy. Well, I don't know if this is true as well. Just jumping back to Leeds, Mark says the rumours of Schmidt.
Yeah, I think that's bollocks, Mark. But there you go. Who knows? But I think that's rubbish. I don't know where you've heard that from, but come at us with some more rumours if you want.
Yeah, get them in the comments.
Throw them in there, mate. Throw them in there, pal. But
I think it was similar for Tony as well. But
again, Christine says, it's a good job I didn't, because I was thinking about potentially doing it. But I mean, that night I stood out there, well, a couple of nights, although I have struck up a bit of a thingy with Tim Thornton, who stands outside Ellen Road.
He's there now.
He's there now.
Yes.
So if you're there now, go and say hello to Tim, because he's my pal. And I've been asking him occasionally through the window what's going on, but I don't know about how good Sky Sports, their sort of sources are really.
I think Sky they jump on the bandwagon, don't you? But
they do a bit.
Don't worry, Christine. We will get George back down outside Ellen Road, looking out for Bentleys. The Bentley quotes have covered as well. Those black Bentleys. They've got a new Bentley garage as well on that ring road.
Have they really? I know there's a Ferrari. There's a Ferrari one, isn't there now as well?
There's the Bentley one down there as well. So we will be watching out for black Bentleys. Don't you worry. But George will be there in January, won't you, George? In the January.
Send me out in the cold weather then.
Yeah, I'll send you out when you've got a lovely beard. That'll keep you warm.
True.
And I'll hold the fort for everybody. But they're good fun, these shows, aren't they, George? We do like doing them. They're good fun, and we get some good numbers. It's good.
Yeah, of course. I mean, that's great, because we've only really just started this, about a month ago, maybe. And, it's great that a lot of people are jumping on, because I think last night, I think there was a few people watching, but there weren't that many comments coming in by Clive, because I don't know where you've gone, Clive, but so it's great to see more people jumping
33 live. I think that's a record for us.
It probably is, which is good, because I'm sure people like like Joe and everybody else and people like that are on as well at the moment. So you're choosing us over them, which is great.
It is indeed. Yes, we will send him out in the winter. He'll get his big coat out, and he'll be down there. He'll get himself a hot chocolate from McDonald's.
That's it. Well, there you go. You can get exactly. But no, I remember speaking to Tim there, and he said, "Oh no," he said, there was nothing going on, and I think it's a bit miserable, obviously, isn't it, when you stood out there not doing anything, and you're wondering how you're going to get home and stuff.
Yeah. So listen. Do we realistically think then, George, that another one is going to come in before 11?
At the moment, Arron, it doesn't really look like it. There's less than 3 hours to go now, just past 8 o'clock. I don't think so. I think Schmidt. I mean, I know Mark said about him going to Burnley, but I don't know if that was a wind up or not. But I can't see anything online about that. So I think he'll join. Like I said a bit earlier on, I reckon Schmidt will sign close to the deadline, and I think that might be us done. Which is a shame. It's a shame, but things from experience, things don't come out now on a deadline day. Not for Leeds anyway. It doesn't seem like that's the way to go at all for Leeds. It just seems like, it just doesn't seem the way that Leeds do stuff. Anybody at Ellen Road, it's a big thing, isn't it? Are the lights still on? But the light still on in Ellen Road is Angus.
Have you seen any black Bentleys outside? If you remember when we did that with Alex 11, we put the tweet out. It was brilliant. I'll never forget that day. I don't think we should relive it when we put the tweet out with the black Bentley and Alfie's house. Who was it? I can't remember who it was. Anyway, somebody who lived with Alfie said that he saw a black Bentley outside Ellen Road.
Connor, wasn't it?
Connor, that's it, yeah.
Yeah, he used to do
the bird from the White Rose Centre, and he drove past Ellen Road, and it just literally, that show literally just went bonkers. Because literally we had like 500 viewers, and then we had like 5,000. It like bang! It was just crazy.
It was, yeah. No, it was. It just went. It just went mad.
It was.
It was, yeah. It was. It was.
Years ago, that was again when we had a disastrous kind of transfer window, wasn't it? Really.
It was and people were getting angry. To be fair, and then I think it did tip over the edge, and I think poor Alfie did get quite a lot of. He did get quite a lot of abuse, unfortunately, but which is not good. But who knows? There might actually be black Bentleys or white Bentleys or whatever colour Bentleys come out of Ellen Road.
Bentley Estates.
It might be, Yeah. El Hadj Juve. It could be El Hadj Juve, couldn't it? In his bloody gold wagon or whatever he used to have.
David Leeds, thank you. First time come across your line, so what be the last quality content? Well, do give us a like and subscribe and listen to our content on your podcasts.
And also listen to mine as well.
Yes. Give it a shout out, George.
Yeah, the Bearded Peacock, of course. Go follow and like and subscribe. Like I said, I did do a stream just earlier on, a bit more in depth on Isaac Schmidt with Paddy Gunn, who has got his own Swiss podcast as well, talking about Swiss football. And he's a good fella. He contributes to the Square Ball as well, writes for the Square Ball. So he's a big Leeds fan as well as a Swiss football fan. So yeah.
Yes. It's good. Interesting comment here. Get your comments in, because we're going to be chatting for a while. Get your comments in, your questions or whatever you want to say. So we are getting some guests on, George. I haven't forgot the guests there coming up. Ricky says, do you think we have get Calvin Phillips in on loan? I'm sure he would have rather played for us than sit on Ipswich's bench. For me, Ricky, I think that one would have been if Leeds had got promoted. I think they'd have probably got him back. I don't think he'll jump down to the Championship, if I'm being honest. Primarily because of his wages. He was on big money at Man City, 120 odd plus or whatever it is. He was on there. I don't think he would come down to the Championship, I'm afraid.
No, I don't think he will. I think he would have already done. I think he would have already done it if he was serious about doing it. I bet you City are probably paying his wages anyway, Arron, for that Ipswich loan anyway. And I feel a bit sorry for him, because I think maybe if it goes well, he can get a permanent move there or whatever. But most likely scenario is he'll just go back to City, then he'll get another loan move next season, and he'll just keep going on, and then back to City, then back on loan to another random Premier League side. And then, you know what I mean? It's just backward and forward for him. It's no good.
Yeah. Do you agree with Big Mally here? It's been a good window considering the meltdown we had a couple of weeks ago.
Look, I said it was a 7. I still maintain it. It's been okay. Yeah, I think Mali's right. I think last week it got a little bit silly because people were getting frustrated. But I think since then, obviously, Ramzani's in, Solomon, Tanaka, obviously maybe Schmidt, and then maybe another one. So I think there'll be still the odd people saying, oh, stack the board and they're not done enough and all this kind of stuff. But let's be honest, it's not half as bad as it was that day a couple of years ago where, obviously Alfie said what he said and he thought he was seeing what he saw, and it obviously just wasn't what he thought. And then, it got bad because people were really frustrated, and maybe they were. I can't remember. It was the winter window. I think it was a January window, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And I think was it the season we went down eventually? I think it might have been. Might have even been the season before. No, I think it was the season before. It was the season before that. So we just eventually ended up staying up, didn't we? But it wasn't a good window. I don't think we signed anybody.
No, it was because
the season we went down, we signed. We got McKennie. That wasn't dead. I think that was deadline day. Actually,
it was.
Day before,
it was. Yeah,
so,
what is he doing these days? What is
he signed a new deal at Juventus, didn't he? So
is he playing for Juventus?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I'll just check for you, but I think
I kind of miss it in a weird way. Weston McKennie.
No, I think he has been playing, but I mean, I'm just having a look, Aaron. Actually, I mean, there's plenty of
still at Juve, according to Clive. There,
he's still there. No, he hasn't. He hasn't played at all yet this season. But
what a shame! What a talent! What a waste! What a waste! Juventus.
He did sign it. He did sign a new contract, so he's obviously in the plan somewhere. But Ricky's subscribed, so again another one. Thank you, Ricky.
Join us. Get it in your calendars. We're live every Thursday at 7 p.m. for your main pod.
Yep, every Thursday. So Jay's saying about do a poll. What does he want to do a poll on?
Tell us what you want and we'll do it.
What poll do you want him to put on Twitter or whatever?
Yeah.
Chris, it wasn't a great move really for him, but that's what I mean. It's Premier League and he'll play games if he stays fit. And he wasn't playing much really at West Ham, and it went so badly for him.
Yeah, but he needed a complete move, did Phillips?
He did, and it's wherever the heck Ipswich is. Ipswich is a long way away from Leeds and Manchester, isn't it? So maybe he just needed to get away, get a new start, and obviously got a little. Has he got a little boy or a little girl now? I don't know.
I don't know. My missus is a baby. Yeah,
he's got a little one. Yeah, I don't know what the gender is, but.
Yeah, I think he used to live around the corner from me, did Calvin. I think his mum lives in his house now.
Really?
Yeah, I'm not going to say what it is, so people might go to it, but I can. If you're ever in the area in Pudsey, I can point it out.
Did you ever see him out? Did you ever see him?
The missus actually got a photo of them in a car when he went to the Sainsbury's local in where Colin was the manager. It was there. And people who see him running around, he was, he's from Wales, isn't he? So he's
he's not far away.
He's from a huge family anyway, but his mum's in his house, which is that's the Calvin Phillips scoop for you.
I've seen him before. I've seen him before in his car, big car, and he's got that green car.
No, he got in my missus's car for a photo. He got in the box.
He got in the car.
He got in the car. Yes, he did.
That's excellent.
He just got in and got a photo with her. Oh, nice.
That's excellent. Is that? No, but I'm saying I've seen him in his car a few times, and I've seen him doing a medical at Thorpe Park shopping centre, outdoor shopping centre. I've seen him there as well. So that was good.
So Mark's saying there that just going back to a couple of the comments because they're coming in. Please do keep them coming. It keeps us entertained. On X, a few posts about Burnley hijacking the Schmidt deal.
Is it real?
I don't know. Anybody credible saying that, Mark? I think that's the key one. Any credible kind of.
I don't know. Twitter's just full of like just.
Twitter's
spam.
Hilarious.
It's just full of spam. It's just full of spam.
But it is hilarious.
Oh yeah, I mean, people are just going. I mean, same characters you always see on there. It's quite funny because people are just losing
their mind.
Well, they are, and I don't know why. The team is all right. I think people are just getting a bit,
I don't know. Do you think Angus Kinnear? I'm looking at Twitter's things as we speak. Do you think Angus Kinnear would go after this transfer window, or do you think he's going to stay?
I don't know what he's going to do, really. I mean,
because this is an important one because he's hung around at Leeds as Angus Kinnear, and I do think there's the Bournemouth chief executive. I think he's jogging on after the deadline day passes. He's moving on. What do you think about Angus Kinnear? Do you think he will move on from Leeds now? Because there's nothing much more for him to do. He's had that transition period.
To be honest with you, Aaron, I've completely forgot Angus Kinnear was even there for a time. I don't really care, to be honest. There was a lot of talk about him before when it seemed a lot of onus on like Orta and Kinnear and Radrazani. Now the 49ers have come in. I've almost forgotten that Kinnear was still there. Because you don't really hear that much from him. Where you used to hear a lot, you had Rads with his stupid tweets and stuff, and Kinnear was quite outspoken as well. And you heard, obviously, the documentary came, and you heard a lot from those guys in that. And I think nowadays they kind of just gone in the background. I don't really care what he does, to be honest with you. He's not a person I'd get the torch out and say he needs to go. I don't care. I just don't care. I think the 49ers have it in a good place. So, people call them out on things like X or Twitter. It's just stupid.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I can see him moving on within the next couple of months, if I'm being honest, because I can't see him. I don't know what more he's got to do. The 49ers will want to take, the commercial side. They've been monumental in that side. I don't know what value he brings to the team. I don't know what he's doing.
Well, that's what
I mean. What is he doing there?
Well, that's what I mean. I've completely forgotten he's there, and I don't really care either because, like I said, he's gone, and he's not doing a great deal. Like you said, they've got their own men in dealing with it. So
exactly. So why is he there? He doesn't need to be there.
Well, no, he doesn't. And so maybe
he needs to go.
I'll tell you what, Aaron, you go down to Ellen Road and you tell him, you knock on the window and say, hey, get on. You're finished.
Let's give a special
you're within short driving distance, aren't you, to Ellen Road now? I would expect.
Yeah, I am, yes. If you wanted me to go down, I could potentially go down, but I won't. It's getting dark. But special mention to Gary's Two Wheels, who's watching for the first time. Oh, thank you, Gary. Welcome along. Give us a like and subscribe if you like what we do. It's good to have you with us. Okay, then let's jump on what Chris says.
Gary, I'm interested to hear if Gary watched when it was LS11 or whether he's completely new to seeing our faces on the screen, or was he watching LS11 before?
We'll see. But I want to touch on this one, Josh, because let's get the comments are flying in, which is great. It keeps Zed saying it's brilliant. This. Who's going to be our next icon then after Ruter, says Grisco? Get in the comments. Who's going to be the next icon? I'll keep that up for people to get their comments in. Who's going to be the next icon after Jorginho Ruter?
From the current squad now?
From the current squad.
You know what? I'm going to say Aronson.
Aronson?
Yeah.
Brendan Aronson. Brendan fart and fall over Aronson.
No, I think Aronson will have a really good season, and I think people will naturally warm to him because he will. They can see he's doing his best. He will score goals. He will assist as the season goes on. I think it will be Aronson. I think people will see the value of him in the team, and I think they will enjoy it. And I think he will enjoy himself as well. I think he's very much a confidence player. I think you might see a little bit more of bit more of him as the season goes on in terms of a character coming out, because he's very reserved, maybe because it wasn't going well when he was here when we got relegated. I think, I think it will be Aronson, although you could make an argument for Nonto as well.
Okay. Let's just jump into here and I'll give you mine after this. It's first time for Gary. Well, please do give us a like and subscribe. Ramazani says Ricky D. Solomon says Sterling. Big Mally says it would be very surprised if anyone could forget your face, George. Big Mal was from LS11, wasn't he? It will be Tanaka.
Big Mally watches mine as well.
He does, doesn't he? Yeah. Tanaka.
I think he came to mind from LS11 as well, but yeah, maybe. I think Tanaka will be definitely a fan's favourite.
Yeah,
definitely. I think he will have a lot of people learning, Japanese and all sorts. So
yeah, Gary says Nonto might be the shine. Joseph says
yeah. See, I really like Joseph, Aaron. I do. I really like him. I do really. I think he's got the potential, to be a real favourite and score goals. I banged the drum for him for a long time. As you know, when he was in the youth academy and everything, I just think the potential was there, and he's realising it now. And Lars is the same. Rasmus, Where are you listening from, Lars? There. I mean, let us know in the comments where you guys are listening from as well. I'm just interested to where people are listening from.
Oh, they'll get in the comments, George, and tell us where. Could you please, in the comments, put in the comments where in the world you're listening from, whilst I give you my input into who I think the shining star will be. I think the shining star for me this season will be... I think it will be Ampadu. I think he'll get
Ampadu,
Ampadu, Ampadu, he's a good player.
Yeah, I mean Ampadu is fantastic. I think he was brilliant last season, wasn't he? But I think maybe this season, given the captain's armband, he's definitely going to be up there with terms of fan favourites and all sorts. Yeah. So I mean, look, people are listening.
So this is where we are listening to around the world. We've got Keighley, we've got Northern Norway listening to us live. We've got Halifax, we've got you live in Germany here from London. So we've got London.
No, it's in Germany. Chris says he lives in Germany.
From London.
He's from London, but he lives in Germany, so he's listening from Germany.
Right. So we've got Germany in there. Enfield says Christine. Nottingley says Jay. We've got a whole range of people listening to us live, George, all around the world.
Yeah, that's excellent. And Gary says, of course, he used to watch when it was LS11.
Bang Northern Ireland. There we go. Got Northern Ireland in there as well.
But usually says... But he usually listens to Joe. Okay. Oh, so you're listening to us instead of Joe. That's good. Joe's a good fellow, isn't he? He's from Halifax himself, I think, is he?
Yeah. Darlington says David Petty. He's listening to us live from Darlington.
Colin said Aaron, you were his next door neighbour.
Yes, I was many moons ago.
Oh wow, well that's great. You're part of the Keighley Whites. Were you?
Yes, I still am. I don't think Colin is, but I'm still a member of the Keighley Whites, even though I no longer live in Keighley. On their WhatsApp group, I do keep an eye on things. It's a good laugh. The Keighley Whites. I tell you, we could tell you some tales about the Keighley Whites. It's brilliant. If you want to do an away day, George, on a coach with a lot of Leeds fans, some really good lads and lasses, you want to do it with the Keighley Whites. I can't say Steve Pickles does a fantastic job, and Janini's wife, they organise all coaches. Fantastic. They do a really good away day. All I can say is it does take it out of you, and you will be up at 3-4 o'clock in the morning because they do set up early doors. But
do they? Yeah, well, that's it. That's part of the fun, isn't it? Depending on where you're going and everything, that's part of the fun, isn't it?
Oh yes, it is.
To get up early and get off to wherever
That's another talking point. What's the best away day? Let's get into the comments because there's loads of people talking to us on the comments, which is great. What's the best away day you've done with Leeds United? your favourite ground, your favourite game, your best away day, which you've been to with Leeds recently or a few years ago. George, have you done many away games? I don't think I've asked you this before. Have you done any away games with Leeds?
You know what, Arron? I haven't done many, and the ones that I've done have been in a home end. So I have never sat in a Leeds United away end, which pains me to say.
Wow.
But
God, you're missing out.
I know, but it's so hard to get the tickets and everything else with it that goes with it. It's a whole day and plus. So it's difficult. I would love it. I would love it if I could go to an away game. Just one or two, and I'd be sort
of. Where would you like to go, George? Which one would you like to do?
I'm not sure, really. I mean, everybody in the comments say what is the best one. I honestly wouldn't know if it would be a local derby game or whether it would be something quite far away. I'm not really sure. Obviously, in the Premier League, we had the likes of Man United. You had St James's Park, Anfield, Stamford Bridge, whatever to go to. I know you got COVID, didn't you, when you went there? But there's all sorts of, Spurs, the new ground at Spurs. There's loads that you could do.
The best away day that I've done, George, is probably Derby away a few years ago. That was quite good. I enjoyed that one. I've done Liverpool away. They said Liverpool's a great away day, but when I was there, it was just so boring and flat.
You weren't at the one. You weren't at
no,
the one.
It wasn't in the Somerville one.
No,
it was in the Cup game a few years ago. It was just a boring kind of. It wasn't. It was in the Carling Cup or whatever it was a few years ago.
Yeah, I think we lost. We lost 1-0, maybe.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, do you know what, Man United? I've done that. I did that with the FA Cup game. That was brilliant. That was good.
Oh, you were at the 1-0?
That was good. Yeah, there's like 10,000 Leeds fans.
There was loads. Yeah, there was loads.
But that's the best thing. I think if you're going to get a cup game, you want a big away day where you could get, you want the big ground so you can get the 15% allocation or whatever it is. The best one in the Championship, George, if I'm being honest with you, and I've done this a few times, is Blackburn away, because Leeds always get the rear, I think it's the Darwin end or whatever it's called. You get 7,000 in there as well. It's quite good. That's quite impressive.
Yeah, well, it's great, isn't it? Because it's that sense of we're here, there's a smaller number of us, but we're all here together supporting the sort of the enemy in the way, because you're the away team. So there's quite a buzz, I guess, about it all, really. There's not many people coming in with this question that you asked him, Arron. So,
Colin says the first trip to Wembley in the 70s, the Charity Shield versus Liverpool, Keegan and Bremen was sent off. Brian Clough was the manager. Colin's also done Blackburn as well. It's interesting, just to kind of see. A lot of people might not, if they don't want to come in, that's absolutely fine and tell us. That's
well, I mean, Clive's saying he'd love Leeds doing a away day at Halifax in the Shea, which would be interesting, wouldn't it? I mean, I'm not from too far away really from there, so it potentially would be one that I probably could get to pretty easily,
Yeah, Chris said our first trip to Allen Road in the early 70s, 6-1 against Arsenal, Lorimer hat-trick.
Well, it's another question, Arron, isn't it? The old age question is, which Chris has brought up there. Which was your first trip to Ellen Road? What was your first memory of Ellen Road and the first game that you went to there?
Me, it was, so I can remember, I must be about 7, went with my dad. It was Bradford City at home in the Premiership. I think it was 96. It was when the East Stand opened. We were sat in there, and what got me was when I was 8 years old, it was the bright lights, how big it is compared to when you see it on TV. That's what kind of caught me. But
well, I think I was the same. Really, I don't know. It's something about a night game. I think that is really. I don't know. I used to go to a lot of night games by myself, and there's something about it that I don't know. I just like it. You know what I mean? It's just. I think the night games are something different, really. for me.
Just want to give you a bit of breaking news. Celtic have signed 26-year-old United States centre-half Uston Trusty from Sheffield United on a 5-year deal. Chris Wilder is going to be crying. He's going to be crying. His defender's gone. Oh, bye-bye.
Well, they're all going out there. American fella, he played for Arsenal, didn't he? Or he never played, but he was from Arsenal, wasn't he? I think here in Summit in here, Arron, is that Elias Chair is potentially in for Leeds at the end of the window.
Go on then, George. Go on then. Give us this scoop which you've got, because I will put this out on a tweet. We'll get the black Bentley ready.
Potentially.
So go on then. Tell the live viewers.
It's a pinch of salt, really, but they're considering Leeds a final bid to sign Elias Chair, who is out of contract. It's his last year of his contract at QPR. He wasn't in the squad tonight. He's not in the squad tonight. They're playing Luton. They're currently 1-0 down away at Luton Town.
Right.
Elias Chair is fit, but he's not in the. Sorry, actually saying he's injured till mid-September, but that's, who knows if that's true. So he's not in the squad tonight. They're playing the 1-0 down at Luton just now.
Yeah, Luton
about half an hour.
Yeah,
about half an hour into the game. Chair's not in the squad. Maybe he's injured or
unknown. Yeah.
So who knows? But there's a rumor going around that Leeds are trying to put a final bid in for him.
You've been banging on about Elias Chair for a while, George. I know you have. You really rate him.
Yeah, I do. And I you see, it kind of goes against my argument, Arron, in a sense, because he's a proven championship player. He's one of your friends. I'm sure. I thought you'd be banging the drum for him, because he's a proven championship player, mate, and he's good at this level. We knew he is, because he destroyed Leeds in that horrible game at the end of last season at Loftus Road. So Mark says stay away from Chair. Too many off-field issues. But
what are the off-field issues? What are the issues?
He bashed that guy's head in with a rock, and he should have gone to jail basically, but he got away with it because of he did it in another country that I think that the rules were slightly different, so he kind of got away with it. Obviously that's not good.
Right.
But and I think when I did a video about it last week or a couple of weeks ago, and maybe it doesn't fit with Leeds, I don't know, but and I put on the title "Controversial Characters to Sign for Leeds," because obviously there was Chair I was talking about, and there was Solomon, who I was talking about, who people have been split with because of what he said and stuff. So there's one or two controversial characters there.
But do you think it's a good one to sign for? Do you think he would fit? Yes, he's a controversial character and his attitude doesn't fit. But is that aside, we need that creative 10, don't we? We need that player of some form, to come in.
He would be a very good signing for me. Like you say, I keep banging on about him because I feel like he's a good signing. I think somebody at some stage, if it's not tonight, if it's not tonight, it'll be next summer. Somebody's going to get a good signing there, and and people are still going on about Hemer. Get Hemer down the M62 and all this kind of stuff.
He should be up the M1, pal, not down the M62. He's going the wrong way.
Who knows? But
Big Marley says he can't find any update on Schmidt. It's a bit of a puzzler. I don't know.
There's nothing being said. I still maintain, even with the news that I said there, that's just pinch of salt stuff. It's nothing legit or anything, or it's no scoop that I've got from inside information. It's just what I've read. I think basically what will happen is Schmidt will get done quite late in the. You know what happened when we were on LS11, Arron, in the January. End of January window, and we were talking the same about Connor Roberts, and Connor Roberts eventually signed, didn't he, at the very end of the window, and the window it passed, didn't it? The deadline passed, and he still wasn't there, and then he was there, afterwards. So I think it might be one of those with Schmidt, and I think a lot of people are going to lose their SHIT at the end of it.
Yeah, just interested because it says, "Where are we in for him?" Or just throwing out suggestion. I'm just looking at our Twitter. Darren Clark has come back to us on Twitter. Darren says he's injured. He's out till mid-September, George. So it wouldn't make any sense.
Yeah, well, like I said, that's again, that's what they say, but that's what we know it before, and we've had it before where the manager or whatever says, "Oh, he's injured," and then he's gone and moved to wherever. So you know what I mean. You just don't quite know, but I do actually think he is injured. So I think that's a nonsense rumor. But like I said, I was just reading what putting out what I've read minutes before. Chris talks about. I don't know who he's talking about here. Lebocki might be the
Lebocki.
Is it? Lubasic, the Austrian guy.
Yeah,
I don't know. I've not read anything about that personally, but
no,
I don't know. But I mean, yeah, obviously that's not good if he did do that.
Yeah, no, it's not. It's just a muppet if he's done that. Let's be honest.
Well, yeah, it's no good, is it? You've got to, just be respectful of people. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Lubasic, yeah, Lubasic. I'd not read anything about that. That might be again why they're staying away from these characters. I don't know.
Good. So speaking of Maxwell Corner, can you remember we were in for him a few years back? He's just gone to Southampton.
But just a minute, because Ricky said about mid-September is okay because the international break is coming. So you know what I mean.
For
that
chair.
could be a point.
Yeah.
But I do remember Maxwell Cornet. He's just gone to Southampton, has he?
He's just gone to Southampton. That's a scoop for you.
That's a good signing, that, I think, because, I think a lot of Leeds fans, when we were in the Premier League, would have probably taken him.
Yeah.
We were linked before Burnley signed him. But he was at Burnley, wasn't he, before West Ham?
Yeah.
We were in there before Burnley got him. So. Yeah, we were a couple of years ago before he was at Lyon, and then no, I don't think he did, man. I don't think he did limp off. It was he's talking about Schmidt last night. Obviously, he scored. I don't think he did limp off. I think he was given. He would have had a sort of agreement with the club or with Leeds. Leeds might have had with St. Gallen to say just play him a little bit. Because we've got him and we want him to pass his medical, we want him to be fit.
Yeah,
so I think that's the reason why. Probably.
Yeah, touch on what Lars has said here in Northern Norway. Any news on Wober? Is he staying?
I think so.
Yeah, we think he's going to stay. If he goes early on, I think if he goes late on, it'd be really foolish for this because they've got to replace because we still need another centre back, and I think
unless like I've seen a lot of people commenting today, and it is his birthday, and I'm surprised you've forgotten.
Whose birthday?
Well, see, you've completely forgotten.
Oh no! I haven't forgotten. I'm waiting for you to announce it. Go on. Whose birthday is it, George?
This is the thing. So obviously it's Liam Cooper's birthday. I think he's 33.
He is 33 today. Hang on. Let's just stop. Happy birthday, Mr. Cooper. Happy birthday from your biggest fan. Still without a club. And the bearded friend is also your biggest fan. Who's still without a club is Mr. Cooper.
I'm surprised you haven't gone up to his house and found out where he lives and given him a birthday cake, Aaron. But I don't know. Some people have said, haven't they? Oh, I think we're going to get Cooper's going to sign on, so that would make sense.
Well, they did a nice social media post in the Leeds United
for his birthday. Yeah,
his birthday, saying happy birthday, Liam Cooper, still without a club. Would you take? This is an interesting one, and I'm just intrigued for what people will say in the comments. And we talked about this a couple of weeks ago on our pod. Cooper versus Wober. Who would you rather have?
Wober.
You say Wober, I say Cooper. Right then, guys, if you are listening, please get into the comments and say which player you would rather have in your squad, not playing in your squad. Let us know who you would rather have in your squad. Liam Cooper, who's a free agent, or Max Wober is, well, we know what he is. He's not very good. He doesn't want to be there. Let's be honest. He doesn't want to be at Leeds.
No, well, I mean, nobody knows that for sure.
But Josh, we saw his performance against Middlesbrough in the club, and it was, as a professional footballer, he's embarrassing.
Richard's called it right because he said neither, and I particularly agree with him because I
so that's 2-1. Chris Gill says Wober issues a pain in the rear end. Take Liam anytime. JLUFC 0.74. Coops anytime. 3-2 to Liam Cooper. I think he's going to win something, George.
Yeah, but
Cooper is a squad member, but Wober is a player. No, which one would you can't do that, Big Mally. Which one are you going to have? You have to pick one. Cooper or Wober, who would you rather have and why?
Well, we just go back. Mark's listening from Paris. Are you, Mark?
So
you're in Paris, are
bonjour.
You?
Yes.
Bonjour. And Carl says maybe they're holding money back for January and think we have enough now. Assess his injury and invest in where we need them with a big sign. Yeah, which is what we're talking about before, wasn't it, Arron, just now about, maybe... maybe see and assess where they are in January and what position they're in and everything. And maybe they do think we've got enough in those attacking positions. Because maybe he was thinking into Friday's game, before Friday's game, actually, we need a number 10. But then seeing how well Willie did in that position, maybe he's thinking, actually, we can just play Nonto in that position. So maybe that's it. Maybe he's seen something that he likes in Nonto and he doesn't feel the need to dip in to the market. Now, I think JLUSC 0.74 is going to burst if you don't put a poll out.
I am going to put a poll. If you keep talking and keep reading through the comments, I'm going to put it on our X feed. So, who would you rather have, LUFC fans, in the squad? I'm just going to do a quick poll. It's going to be Wober or Cooper, free agent Cooper. Because we could get him signed, free agent. And then we can put the poll out because I think he wants it. I'm going to set the poll length to. You've got one. No, I'm going to give you 30. I'll tell you what. Quick snap poll. I'll give you 10 minutes to get voting. So there you go. Get voting, guys, on X, and then we'll let you know the results of that before we go off. Sorry, what were you saying, George?
Well, I think the poll maybe, I don't know, it's a little bit mute really in terms of deadline day. People might want to know something coming in. But who knows? People, with it being Cooper's birthday, maybe it is a little bit relevant, but I don't know. Big Mally says Ampadu over both of them, which is
obviously.
I think Wober is poison for the dressing room. He says, Lars, I would have Cooper as staff, but not as a player. So he said he would have him as a staff member, but not
in the
as a player.
In the squad, and
I think it's time to let Cooper go. I did see a rumor that he was going to Derby.
No, that was quashed. That was quashed.
Was it? Because he was going to sign for Hull, wasn't he? But that broke down as well. So there's obviously something not right, or the waiting on something. Look, if he signs, he signs. He's really, really poor as a player, and I don't think you can deny it really. But there you go. I think he's really poor now at this level, and it's horrendous. We saw in how bad he was, unfortunately, at Watford, didn't we? Towards the end of the season in Easter, where Emmanuel Dennis just tore him to pieces, and we don't want something like that. We don't need him personally. I don't think in the squad. Well, I think Wober will probably stay as it's ticking down to 9 o'clock really now, and there's been nothing. There's nothing. I think that as I keep maintaining, I think Schmidt will be the one at the end. and nothing else, and the waiting on that maybe to keep people hanging on.
Yeah, just going to give you a quick poll update. It's got 8 minutes left on it, and we've had 30 votes as well, which is quite good to say that we only did this a couple of minutes ago. What do you think it is, George? Because you can't see it in front of you. I've got it in front of me, the live tracker of the poll.
Wow.
What do you think it is then, genuinely? Because it's quite big so far, the difference here.
I reckon that.
And the 7 minutes to run it.
I reckon the majority of people want Cooper in, maybe 80 to 20, or maybe even more than that on Cooper's side.
Well, we will, for the exercise which we've just done, we will allow it to continue to tick away on that poll. When it's just changed. It's like an election. It's like an election night, this, George. It's like an election night. Oh, it's quite good. I feel like Jeremy Vine. Let's have a look here in the comments. The question for me about Wober is, does he want to play for us or not? If not, send him down to the under-21s. Game over. Do you think that's the best thing to do with Wober, George? Because if we base on the evidence which we've seen from him, he doesn't want to be here. He was awful against Middlesbrough. Are you gonna let him, based on that performance, are you gonna allow him anywhere near the championship team?
Yeah.
Come on. Why?
Yeah.
Why?
It's the one game where, nobody was good. We lost 3-0 and we were awful.
But he was particularly bad.
Yeah, he was poor, but everybody can have one game. Look how bad Cooper's been, and you bang the drum for him. So, you know what I mean? And Cooper's been bad over a period of time.
Of bullshit I've ever heard.
No, it's not.
It is the biggest bullshit. That is
Cooper's
been
bad over a period of time. Wober, you keep mentioning the Middlesbrough game, which was one game, and everybody had an awful match that night. You cannot. It's too much of a small sample to go off. You can't go off like Wober for me is a competent player, definitely at this level. Yeah. Whether he wants it or not, you cannot say that he doesn't or not because you don't know him personally. You haven't spoken to the man. No, I don't think so.
Well, that was the biggest load of BS I've ever heard. No, listen, Liam Cooper is not about the player's style or the defender, what he does on the pitch. It's his leadership. He wants to be there. He was fighting for the cause.
Cares? I want to be there. Doesn't mean I'm good enough.
But he was the club captain. He was a big player for us. Was Liam Cooper, and his personality and mannerism and all that sort of stuff was huge. And bearing in mind, George, and I'm just going to close because we've argued for years on Liam Cooper, and you've won with yours because he's gone. He's no longer a player.
That was a bad decision.
You and the Liam Cooper bandwagon got onto it. You started it up. Listen, Liam Cooper was a big player for us, and you can't take away what he did for the club. He was a huge player, and I'm so shocked that the club haven't come out and said thank you, Liam, for everything you've done, etc., because the guy deserves a testimonial, in my opinion. I know we don't give them out left, right, and centre, but he does deserve some recognition for the level of service he's given to Leeds United. He is a legend of the club, whether you like it or not, George Brook. He is a legend. Thank you, Lars. He is a legend. Let me finish. He is a legend of the club, and yes, he's not good anymore. I know that. I understand. He's not very good anymore. He was at one point, but not anymore. We could have done with him, but Wober is particularly bad. But listen, we have to move on.
Of course you do.
Just for one more year. The magic 10. The magic 10.
What's going to happen next year? Oh, he should stand again.
Might be League One. We might need him back.
He's rubbish, Arron. Let it go. Let him go, and just whatever. He's rubbish.
I just think it's just Leeds just need to just give him at the end of the transfer window, because whether they sign him or not or whatever, he just needs to be acknowledged for what he's done for the club. So thank you very much. Thank you for everything you've done. and we wish you all the very best. That is the easiest thing Leeds United need to do, and that's all they need to do. And that's what I'm banging on about. That's what they need to do.
Yeah, but Aaron,
I'm not aggressive. I'm just passionate.
I think that offer is still on the table for him. But as soon as it expires, his offer or whatever, then I'm sure they'll come out with a he's not whatever.
Yeah, he's not going to get a 2 or 3 year deal anywhere in the Championship.
He's not going to get anything. The best thing he can do is go down to a lower league and play out his career there, and then come back to Leeds maybe as a coach of some sort. You know what I mean? He's not good enough, Aaron, and maybe Wober isn't either. But maybe neither of them are the answer, and that's what I believe. But if you're giving me a choice of either one of the two of them, I'm always going to choose Wober because he's much better. And that's just the way it is. Cooper, no doubt on what he's done. I've always said it, no doubt. He's a good man and he's done a lot for Leeds and stuff, but as a captain and stuff. But his playing ability, which is the main thing as a football player, is sadly lacking. So that's what I think, and you know it, and that's the way it is. But I mean, I didn't think we'd be speaking about Liam Cooper tonight, but there you go. I suppose
I would absolutely love it if Liam Cooper and Leeds United turn around and go, "Oh yeah, hello, don't go to bed just yet. Liam Cooper's just signed a 1 year deal."
Yeah, I mean, it's not. It's you know what they're doing. You know what they're doing, Aaron. They're waiting and waiting and waiting, and they will put that because they know it carries weight with a fan base. Yeah. So they'll be cooking up something like this. It is the same for Bamford, James. Yeah, he's rubbish as well and he needs to go. He does. Get somebody better in.
Well, they're not going to do it now, are they, George? With what? 2 hours and 10 minutes to go until the end of the window. I just want to touch on some of the comments because, again, this is important. Then I'll give you the all-important poll results because it's got a minute to go on it because I know you're busting.
I am. I really want to know the.
I might even put some music on for it as well, just to spark. Wober was bad, but I remember a certain player refused to play last season, but we seem to have forgotten him.
Aaron, but Dave, you're talking about Willie Nonto. So you're going to say that, Dave, you're not supporting Willie Nonto with how he's done.
I do, because listen, he's done a great job.
Not yourself, Aaron. I'm talking to Dave because he said we seem to have forgotten a player that refused to play. I'm thinking you're talking about Nonto.
Yeah, I think he is.
Dave, are you? So if you are, I mean, are you not supporting Nonto because of what he did last summer, or have you not forgiven him, or is it Aronson that you're talking about? It could be Aronson who you're talking about as well. So who are you talking about there? I mean, and are you actively not supporting that player? I mean, let us know, mate. I'd be fascinated to know, and we can debate it.
Yeah, good. I'm trying to get back in. Wober is a bad apple when you see players trying everything to show up. If then a player has a crap game, that's fine. I want to see commitment. Wober doesn't show that. Bamford has his day. Here comes the Bamford haters. And Colin agrees with you. Interestingly, I'm going to give you the Twitter poll results because it is it's an interesting one. Pirot is the 10, as said Cooper straight away. But I'll tell you the results. And do you want to have a quick guess at the results, George?
Well, I think it'll be 60,
it's a
40.
massive.
It's a massive turn.
It's a massive.
No, maybe 85.
You were close the first time. You were close the first time. So 38% think of Leeds fans think Wober is better to be in the squad, and 62% think Liam Cooper is better in the squad compared to him. Interesting.
Right.
I think I can win. I think I can win on that. There you go.
If you want to, I'll give it you then if you want to. That's fine.
No, Dave's come back and said, no, I'm saying one player refused to play and we include him. How if we forget him? Maybe we should reserve judgment on Wober. Interesting argument there.
Yeah, true. So I guess you're right, Dave. Yeah, we've forgotten. We kind of forgiven him for not playing like Nonto into it. Obviously, Big Mally says only Nonto refused to play. So yeah, you're right. And there's been a lot of sort of forgiveness from Leeds fans in terms of Aronson as well. Well, for some, I'm sure some people are still on the fence about Aronson. But yeah, you're right. You're right, Dave, and we'll see what happens with Wober. I think he'll stay, and I think he's a good option to have on the bench. He's better than Cooper, let's be honest, as an option off the bench, or whatever. We'll have injuries and I'll have them both if you want, like we did the season before when we got relegated, and see how that goes.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, Jay's talking about sausages and Farley TV and.
Can you do a good Daniel Farke impression?
No, I cannot.
Come on, we used to do these on the old show.
I can't do it. No,
we used to do impressions. I'm going to do some impressions for you.
Okay, well, you'll be on your own. You'll be on your own.
Give this a rating out of 10. Right, Daniel Farke. Right, hang on. I've got to get into the mood once you say that, because this is good. This is time. I can't do it. He's trying. I don't talk about our players. It's important to think of the team and think of Delia Smith. It's important to. I can't go. I'll give up. That was an epic fail.
It wasn't too bad, but it was just you were trying to German accent, weren't you? But
I was trying. This is nice. This is big. It's big sausage. It's big. It's team.
It talks quite well, I think, generally. But I mean,
creates, it's Ruther, it's Nonto, it's a big player, it's a big player for you, it's a big player for the team.
Who thinks his accent is good or not in the comment there? Or is anybody like Chris lives in Germany, doesn't he? I'm sure he might have a say on it, maybe. I don't know.
Give us a rating out of 10. I'm sure Clive will. He likes a good impression as well. So, yeah, do you know what? It seems to be, it's all going quiet down the road at Ellen Road, isn't it? We don't really know. There seems to be a bit of a delay with the Schmidt announcement. Do you think we could do a double announcement, George, with this one, do you think?
Well, they're going to have to do, aren't they, possibly, if they're going to get anybody else other than Schmidt in. And like you said, at this point, that doesn't even look too likely, does it? But yeah, a lot of people are sort of turning now to the idea of maybe Aronson was the replacement CM. Obviously, we didn't have him, Cam, number 10, because obviously we didn't have him last season. So maybe he is the man. Like I said, I think Nonto maybe saw something in Nonto on Friday night last week where he thought actually maybe he can do it instead. Chris talking about Nonto and obviously, he was misled and he tried to force his way out. Maybe he would have in another hypothetical world, he would have got his way and he would have been out of Leeds. But Farke turned his mind around and whatever, and he has turned up since, and he deserves a chance at being the main man for me. And I think what would be a killer now is obviously, and I don't foresee it, but if like Nonto, if there was news now starting to say that Nonto is on his way, but I don't envision that at all. I don't envision that.
No, I don't think he will. I think he will be a Leeds player.
I mean, Mali's saying need to decide if the new signings are starters. What you mean for Hull tomorrow, or like going forward, Mali? Because I think tomorrow, I think he will put Solomon in. I think he'll go something like Melier, Firpo, Bogle, Rodon, Strauch will be the back four. I think you'll get the same team, Ampadu, Gruev. I think the only change will be Dan James, won't it? And I think it'll be Solomon, Aronson, and Nonto, and then Joseph up front. So yeah, I think the only change tomorrow would be Solomon for James. But in general, when everybody's fit, it's really kind of hard to choose. Even, and we're still talking about bringing in a number 10, aren't we? So if we did bring in another number 10, where would we sit then? Because I think when everybody's fit, the attacking line. I don't know about Tanaka. I think Tanaka starts eventually over Gruev. I think he'll start with Ampadu in the middle, so I think he will be a starter. Yeah. I think Solomon will be as well.
Well, one of them's going to have to start, isn't there? So it could be Ramazani or Solomon as well. One of them has to start tomorrow.
I think Solomon will tomorrow, but
I think Ramazani will, if I'm being honest, because I think Ramazani is the statement signing.
I don't think he will.
He's the statement signing of the summer.
Yeah, but did you listen to what Fark said in his press conference yesterday? I didn't, and I even know that I think he said that Ramazani is basically not as ready as Solomon.
He's injured. He's injured.
He's not injured, but he's not as match fit as Solomon. So I think Solomon's more likely to start than Ramazani. But Bally was talking in general though, when everybody's fit, and it's really hard to. And like I said, we're talking about bringing in another forward player, and even as the options are now, it's kind of hard to pick. Though apart from Joseph at the top end, because there's nobody really else. I would personally like to still see a scenario where there's two at the top with Matteo Joseph and Joel Perreault, but he doesn't seem to want to do that. I think Joel Perreault is getting further and further away from the starting 11, and it's a shame because he's
we paid big money for him last year.
Exactly, and he's good on his day. I think it's a good option to have.
Yeah, I don't think it's really worked for him, if I'm being honest.
No, it hasn't.
I don't think it's really worked.
I think under another sort of management, it probably could have done, but it just hasn't worked, and it's a shame for him because he's a good player, and like I said, in another system, it would really work. Yeah. And I'm kind of struggling to see where when everybody's fit, where Solomon, Ramazani, and Dan James, where and Aronson. And Nonta, where all of them, where do they fit in? Who starts the front four? Get it in the comments there. Who starts when everybody's fit, as the team is now? Who starts? Because all of them can kind of play everywhere, other than James can't really play in the 10, can he? But
Perreault's the false 9, maybe.
Maybe, but you know, we all know that probably Fark's not going to change his system too much. It's probably going to be 4-2-3-1 the majority of the time. Yeah. So who plays in those front four positions? It's a toss of the coin. Who would you play, Aaron? Out those front four positions, out the men that we've got currently in the team, could change by 11 o'clock. Who are you picking?
Right. Well, I'm going to go controversial here because we've got the forward four. I'd go for Dan James when he's fit because I think his pace. He was one of our standout players for me last year. Was Dan James? I think I'd go Nonto in number 10 because I think he give us that creativity and that little bit of flair. He had a little bit of freedom. Ramazani as well, and then I'd probably put Bamford up front if I'm being honest. Sorry. Because we've got all that, and here's the reason why. With Bamford, George, you've got somebody who presses and his work rate off the ball is so much better. Then you've got the other three behind him who, 5 really behind him, really, who will then be able to press and really get into things. Solomon as well, I think, will be up there as well. But I just think with Bamford starting, it just gives us that little bit more of an edge in terms of the press when we need to have get the press going.
Yeah, well, I mean, I understand your argument for Bamford, but I just...
Is he going to score 20-plus goals? No. But behind him, you've got 60 goals. Do you know what I mean?
But I think the time is now, again, like it is with Cooper, to to pass that on to Matteo Joseph. Matteo Joseph is ready to take that on, I think. And Bamford's getting nowhere near the starting 11. I can't agree with Big Mally, what he says, Solomon, Nonto, Largy and Joseph.
Yeah.
I think eventually probably will be the front four, and James off the bench and Aronson off the bench if needed, and Perot off the bench if needed as well. And we seem to have hung on to our little Willie to fill in whenever Largy flops. Yeah, so you're right. Yeah, probably, but I think Willie will start. You can't leave him out of the starting 11 at all.
Yeah. Well, do you know what, George? I think what we're going to do is we're going to wrap up our show there, our transfer deadline day special. Schmidt isn't done at 9 o'clock on a Friday, the 30th of August.
What about your guests, Aaron? Where have your guests gone?
Do you want to bring a guest on before we go?
Well, I don't know. Is there any point now? I don't know.
I don't know. We can put guests on if you want, but I'm just thinking it's 9 o'clock. It doesn't seem to me that there's nothing much going to go else is going to go on, if I'm being honest. I think Schmidt's going to be the only one which comes through. Yes, Bamford is this. Yeah, listen, Chris Gill, come back next week and you will hear me argue why I think Bamford is a key player for us.
We want people to come back and watch. We want people to come back and watch. Not talking about Bamford. It'll drive people away.
Anyway, but can I just say thank you to
Phil.
Evening Phil. He's here. The Patrick Bamford. Yes, Big Melly, please do. I'm just going to give you the quick shout outs. We're live every Thursday. So you get it in your diaries. Thursday at 7 o'clock. We're live on YouTube. So if you want to get involved with the pod when we record it and get your comments in, we'll do all that. And you might feature in the main podcast, which we'll then put out every Friday. So you can listen to us again. I know that a few of you have just found us tonight, which is good. Please do give us a like, share, and a subscribe if you like what we're doing. Please do. I'm not going to beg you though, but please do allow us to grow. George, do you want to give your channel a shout out because we've done a 2-hour stream there for that deadline day special? So you give your little channel a shout out on what's coming up on yours.
Yeah, so obviously everybody probably knows, but the Bearded Peacock is my own channel on YouTube, Instagram, and the social medias, all of it there. Go and subscribe if you like. Whatever you want to do. Again, it's not compulsory, but if you feel the need that you want to, go and do it. And just match previews. Might try and do one for Hull, or might have just missed the boat for that. There'll be a review tomorrow of the game. There'll be probably a review, my own review of the transfer window, mainly the incomings, because I don't usually talk about the outgoings. On that particular video. So there's the chat with Paddy earlier on about Isaac, the new fullback potentially. So go and talk. Go and see about him as well if you want more information on him. We had a good chat and all about Swiss football in general as well. So go and listen to that if you want to. And that's probably it, really. But obviously, through the season, you get reviews, you get maybe a few interviews or whatever.
You get it all. You get it all, don't you, George? As well, don't forget as well. So myself and Jerry will be doing the Talking Leeds Plus match reaction. We'll do that live tomorrow for you around 7 o'clock onwards. So you get me and Jerry McNamee giving you our views on the Hull City game. We've got a Hull game tomorrow, and that's why I need to go off. I've got to go to bed. I've got my hair cut first of all at 7:30 in the morning.
Wow, I mean, Phil
and I've got a newborn.
Phil needs to get to bed then, doesn't he? Because if he's cutting your hair
at 7:30 a.m.
he's
cutting my hair.
And, you're getting up early, lads, for that.
Yes, and yes, I will see you tomorrow as well, Colin. So I've got to do that. I've got a newborn, of course, a 7-week-old. So I'm going to be up doing the early morning feed with that. We've got to go to bed, and we might not go to bed just yet. If if there's anything special, we will come back, won't we, George? But I think it's just going to be Schmidt. Yes, and there he is. Phil's confirming the time.
Yes. And I'm sorry, man, I'm giving you a headache. I do apologise for
Who's
that.
giving you a headache?
I know I'm giving Mally a headache, is what he's saying.
I don't know.
So
You've just had 2 hours and 5 minutes of George, Big Mally. What more do you want on a Friday evening? Thank you, Clive. So yeah, please do go on to both channels, Peter Peacock, Talking Leeds, give us a share. We'll be live tomorrow on this channel, giving you the match reaction. Sorry, not review, match reaction. That was the previous channel. And we will be back next Thursday, George. What we're on this doing the Talking Leeds pod.
We will, Arron, but just before, Clive has asked about score predictions for the game tomorrow.
Score predictions for tomorrow. I think Leeds will win 2-0.
Yeah, I'd probably go with 2-0 as well, Leeds.
Yeah, and there he is going 3-1 Leeds tomorrow. Well, thank you very much to everybody who's listened to us on Talking Leeds Plus, the Deadline Day 2024 special. We'll be back doing another Deadline Day special in January where George will be outside Ellen Road. So if you want to go see him, you can do, or if you want to throw a dildo in his face, it'd be even better. We'll see you on the next one. Thank you. And don't forget, give us a like, share, and subscribe. On to the next one.
See you later.